I'd like to show off one of my favorite use cases in Salto, and that's making bulk changes in one of your environments. So with Zendesk, there's lots of times where you've got articles, triggers, macros, things like that that have a URL or some other type of content that might need to change across tons of different elements. So in this case, I have an article here that I can see has a link with our old URL, demo.salto.io. I definitely need to update this to be app.salto.io, but there might be tons of other links in this app, in articles and macros, like I said, that might need to be updated. So how can I figure that out? And how can I save time changing them all as opposed to going through and doing it manually? Well, with Salto, what I can do is first, in the Explore tab, I have the ability to do a search across all of the content in my application. So I see here that I have a bunch of articles, guide articles. I have a macro and I have a trigger as well. So I've got 21 places where this link is showing up. So it's great. I've got some visibility into exactly how much I need to change. But I really don't want to do 21 changes manually, much less if it was hundreds of changes. So how can Salto help? Well, in the compare and deploy screen, normally this is where we'd go from environment to environment, which we can also make bulk changes while doing that. But in this case, I'm going to make the changes just to my sandbox. So you'll see here that I have the ability to do an edit an environment change. So I'll just make the sandbox edits. I've started that deployment here. And we can see that if I select the other edit options, I can actually edit everything with a web editor. And what this lets me do is it gives me all the power of an IDE to go do a big bulk find and replace across all my application, make other changes as well. But let's have a look at how that works. So in the same way I did with my Explore screen, now I want to say, go ahead and search for demo.salto.io across everything. We see here that I have the same 21 changes. I can ask it to update that with app.salto.io. So you can see my edits here on all these lines. I'll go ahead and ask the editor to replace all these. Fabulous, it did it. And then I'm going to say, go ahead and push that back into my deployment plan. So you'll need to put in a message before you do that. So these are my bulk edits. Let's go ahead and push that up. There we are. Now, if I go back to Salto, we'll see that my edits will pop up here. Salto will recalculate the deployment that I'm making. Here we go. And check for any errors, any mistakes that I may have made in those edits. So I have nice protections on these bulk changes. And then afterwards, we'll be able to deploy these in my sandbox and see if the changes took effect. Perfect. We are ready to deploy. Okay, I can see I'm modifying 11 things. So all of the macros, the triggers, and the bulk change articles, even the ones that had multiple URLs in them, are ready to go. So let's go ahead and deploy. Salto will take care of hitting the API and moving all these changes all at once. And then once this is complete, I'll be able to go verify that that URL that I just looked at, let's go ahead and refresh, is now updated. And I can see app.salto.io is now in its place and should be across all of my, my Zendesk instance. So there you go. That's how to do bulk changes in Salto and save yourself a ton of time.